Hey friends, this is not a snow day, day 75 of social distancing quarantine here in southeastern Michigan, episode 53, 54, it's up there. And so thank you so much for joining me. This is my every weekday web series in which we talk a little bit about how to manage distance learning. It's called This Is Not a Snow Day because this is not our normal. This is not a day off. This is something we need to work out and figure out. So on Monday, we talked a little bit about how to reset school, how to really focus in and decide what mountain you're going to fight on, what swords you want to fall on, and what battles you're going to just let go. And I think we can continue this conversation. If you were a classroom teacher right now, which in many ways you are, you would have the opportunity to start planning the end of the year. So what happens in a school at the end of the year? Well, there's a ton of celebration. A celebration is really, really important. Please understand that many studies have been done about schools and school culture and achievement, and celebration is one of the key elements to kids doing well. The idea that they will be recognized, the idea that they are noticed, and that it's not just, hey, good job, good job, good job. It's good job for this thing that you did. I saw, we noticed, you worked. And so it's genuine celebration with some reflection built in. There would also be a lot of the fun of end of the year field trips, and some of them being rewards, and some of them are educational opportunities that are only available in certain weather climate. So speaking with a great teacher yesterday, he said that they were going to be in the national parks this week if things were as they had been planned in September. I know fifth graders in my community would be at camp this week. Some schools would be taking their trip to Washington, D.C. Physics classes would be at Cedar Point, the Roller Coast, one of the great amusement parks here in the United States in Sandusky, Ohio. And this is important. So why do we do these things? Well, it's important to get out of the classroom and learn in different environments and see the learning opportunities. It is fun to bond and have those trips. And there are oftentimes rewards and things that can be used as a carrot kind of dangled in front of our learners to get them to finish strong and to fly right. These are all available to you as a classroom teacher when your classroom is the living room. You can do all these things, and more than that, you probably should. So great schools and great cultures involve a lot of shareholders and stakeholders having conversations about what they're going to do next. So it is totally appropriate for you to have a classroom meeting and sit down with your learners and say, all right, how are we going to close out the school year? And this will do a couple things for you. One, this will empower them. This will give them, number two, a sense of some things that they might feel like they were going to miss out on. This also gives you a chance to end school at a particular date and start summer, to end the role that you've had as teacher, celebrate it, finish it, and then lean into the role of caregiver and parent, because they're different roles. And when they get blurry, as they have for many of us across 75 days, that puts strain on both of them. And it's very, very challenging. So I want to share with you a story that I heard from one of my 8th grade students. And we were having class, and class was just warming up, and he logged in a little early. And I said, so what's going on? And he was cracking up. I said, what happened, man? And he told me the story that his parents called him outside, said, get your brother, come outside. And he went outside, and they had squirt guns. And they completely ambushed this 8th grade boy and his brother, and they had a water fight. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's hilarious. How long did it last? He's like, honestly, it was like an hour. We were reloading, we were laughing, everybody was soaked. And I was like, that's crazy. Do your parents do stuff like that all the time? He's like, no, it was a total surprise. And so one of the things that we as teachers hear about is how fun it is when they see us outside of that role. When I like to barbecue for my students. I like to be the one who cooks and serves them food, to DJ, to jump into that hula hoop contest, to do the water balloon toss. And so I would like to encourage you to plan a field day of some kind, even if it's just your family, and have the water balloon toss, and have the silly string fight, and have a bonfire with the school books, and make s'mores over them. make sure they're non-toxic and stuff like that. Don't put the markers and the Sharpies in there. That's a bad idea. Have some fun with it. End the school year with a field trip to the ice cream parlor, with a field trip to some place. It's not going to be the same. I agree. Because there's a global pandemic and it can't be the same right now. And that's okay. What's not okay is marking this and is trying and also partnering with the kids. And then, here it comes. Then once you start planning with them, say, all right, I think our date's going to be this day, and it might already be set up by school calendars. Then you're like, all right, now we got to keep doing school. So it gives you a little leverage to say, you got to put in that time. You got to log into your classroom. I don't want to have this conversation 4 or 5 times. You know what you need to do. We can't have this picnic if we're not going to do this. And it creates a little bit of this tangible reward that some learners need at the end of the year. Teachers have been doing this for a very, very long time. We want to pull back that curtain and give it to you. So celebrate the end of the year. Should you do classroom awards for your young learners? Yeah, you should. Should you do a Teacher of the Year award? I bet you are the unanimous winner. I bet you get all the votes. I bet it won't even be close. And have an award ceremony. What if you dressed up? What if you Skyped in or Zoomed in some family members who haven't seen your kids or your learners in a long time and had a little end of the year celebration with them? There's lots of ways you can make this special without just getting through it. Oh, we're done. Or in many ways worse, just kind of petering out until you cross some imaginary finish line in a calendar that was designed by a civilization that isn't even around anymore. That's not relevant. What's relevant to your family, to your learners, to your school experience? That's where you can create a celebration that really matters. End the school year, celebrate, have some fun, and go from there. And if there's anything we've learned, both from the parents I just talked about and from our own experiences, which is don't be afraid these last couple of days to really shake things up out of the blue. Have a surprise. Take them on a fun trip to someplace. Have a reward. Create something that they're not used to, so when they sit down and think they're going to do their 9:30 to 10:30 segment, instead they are searching for the Jolly Ranchers that you spread out in the living room with clues. And don't be afraid to be spontaneous here at the end and call the audible, because any good teacher will tell you in the spring, sometimes you just need to take that extra recess. Sometimes you just need to go outside. Sometimes you need to just go into the water lab, even though it doesn't quite fit into your curriculum, because that is being sensitive to the learners you've got. So, end of the years matter. Have some closure, have some celebration. If you like this idea and you know of other people who are struggling, then share this with them. Pass the word. You can subscribe down below. You can always comment. I'd love to hear what you guys like to hear about. The most common question I'm getting right now from a lot of avenues is what's going to happen next year. I don't know. But whatever it is, we will have had all of this practice to know what works and what doesn't. As long as we take care of ourselves and we take care of others, we'll be lucky to have a next year in which solving those problems will be the luxury, because it means we're around to have the problems. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Tomorrow's Friday. That was pretty cool. I'll see you then for our Friday episode.